Hello everyone. This is Kira Show here. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, it seems that my surprise I was gonna save for after the Swords Festival, not only have people kept recommending it, they keep talking about it, and they want me to bring it in early. So, I was gonna save this for the Stain fight, but might as well. Now then, I'm gonna have to retcon the series so this will make sense. But, yeah, let's do that. Okay. Deku and Momo were talking. Deku asked if she can help him create a guitar for Jiro so that she can actually blast sound waves out of it and use it in battle. Momo actually really liked this idea because not only could this help train her quirk, but making something so complex, she would actually really like this challenge. So they would have actually probably ran into Mei Hatsume at the support course early, and she's still getting stuff ready for the sports festival. But whenever they would walk in and she would see them, she would have asked Deku if he can try out some of her equipment for her. And yeah, she'd be talking about it and she'd be asking him a lot about what his quirk is. He would explain how he can actually make a certain grenade that shoots webs everywhere. She wouldn't believe him, but then Deku would demonstrate it by throwing one outside. And it just immediately shoots webs in every single direction. She would say that that's pretty cool, but what does that have to do with his quirk? He would then climb onto the webs and actually start swinging around, even producing his own organic webs. She would think that that's actually very cool, but she would ask what's so special about his quirk. He would then jump above where that window is and then just stand up. Now, whenever he does this, Momo, she's never really seen Deku do it, but she knew that his quirk allows him to climb on any surface. So he's essentially just standing there at a 90-degree angle while Mei and Momo are trying to talk to him. He then says that his quirk is called Spider, and he can do anything a spider can. So she's actually like really curious to know more about his quirk. So he would have explained how the doctors basically told him that he has very nano. Well, he has hairs on his hands and all over his body that are essentially at the atomic level. Now these hairs actually stick up so that they basically can grip anything. She wouldn't believe him, and he would also say that he has super strength. And he would then quite simply just put his finger on a baseball. Let's say they had like a 20, let's say they had like a 50 pound. You know that mech suit arm she was working on? She had a 20-pound piece of that. Well, she had a 50-pound like arm piece. So Deku would just simply put his finger on it and immediately lift it up. And the rest of his hand is closed. So she's kind of believing it now. Anyways, after that, she would actually draw up blueprints, help them do all this, and she would then say that she can't work on it, but she can try after the sports festival. He would say that she doesn't really need to build it because Momo was going to create it with her quirk. She'd be interested to see what Momo can do, but then Momo starts reading off the blueprints, doing all this, and asking for more details from May. May would answer these, and then Momo would start building the guitar. Now, she would ask Deku to try it out to make sure it's actually a good one. So Deku would actually pick up the guitar, and he would play Master of Puppets. Yes, I picked that song out of every song I can think of. Or Through the Fire and the Flames by Imagine Dragons. I'm joking, it's not by Imagine Dragons. I forgot who they were, but who that song was by. I can immediately pick up any heavy metal song, but I cannot name the artist. But I might be able to name the song. And I hate that about myself because I don't even know most of the street names in the town I live in. But I can know how to get all the way to my brother's house just simply if I were to walk across town. And that kind of sucks. Yeah. Please tell me there are more people that are like that. Because I feel genuinely bad sometimes because I cannot name a single street name for the life of me. Alrighty. Anyways, after that, they would have gotten the paperwork, and Deku actually would have asked Momo if there's a way she can make it collapsible and somewhat foldable. So she would do this, and right about where the guitar gets slimmer upward toward the top of it, about in the middle, Deku can actually fold it. So he can actually fold it in on itself and make it collapsible. So it's about the size. It's like, hmm, um, it looks like about the size of a notebook. But anyways, speaking of notebook, I actually have the one I wrote down quirks in over here. I'm gonna try and think of more quirks while I work on this series. Anyways, now then, Deku actually would get this support item registered under Jiro's name. Now then, the sports festival would start. Deku and Jiro and Momo have all prepared for this. Momo actually got recommended by Deku to start watching certain like old school action movies to see what kind of things they had in them because he knew that some of them were pretty crazy. And what I mean by this is she'd start watching Star Wars, Star Trek, The Terminator, Aliens, like all like she's basically going on a full like 1990s marathon. And these weapons and everything she's seeing is just insane. And she's just really, really impressed by a lot of the old school technology that they used to use in these movies. Now, I want to give her nanites, but I really don't want to because that would make it too similar to my other series. But now then, it's the first round of the sports festival, and this is whenever President Mike would say, well, Deku would actually walk up on stage and he'd start saying that he is the class representative for Class 1A, and his name is Izuku Midoriya. Now, most of you guys might know me as, well, his name is Izuku Midoriya, and he actually left some years ago to this country, and he is actually this person. Now, a lot of people don't really know who that is, but there's actually some people in the crowd cheering him on. And let's say that there was a punk rock hero, and this hero actually knew who Deku was. So this punk rock hero would actually start screaming out some lyrics, and Deku would just scream back at him. People are confused, but Jiro and some other people in Class 1 are actually laughing at this. Deku will then say that he's actually been. Whenever he was over there, many people didn't accept him for his quirk. Because a lot of people didn't have quirks over there. Now, whenever they did find out he had a quirk, not only they didn't see him differently, but that's because he only ever used it to help people. And he doesn't want to be a hero for fame or glory. He just wants to do it because if he doesn't help people, then, well, with great power comes great responsibility. And, yeah, you know what I mean by that. Uncle Ben speech, basically. Anyways, a lot of people would cheer on Deku and appreciate that he said this. Because he essentially said that even though he had powers, people didn't like him. Now, this would actually resonate with a lot of people because they're actually always appreciated for their quirks. But these people actually hated Deku because of his quirk, or because he was like that. But whenever he started helping people and actually being a nice person to them, that's whenever they actually appreciated Deku's help. Kind of like how Aizawa says that you cannot save everybody. Now then, after that, they would all start the sports festival. Todoroki would try freezing the ice over, but as soon as Deku's spider sense went off, he jumped up into the air and actually was on top of the. He was on top of the entranceway. And as soon as most of the class, when they saw this, they tried getting out of there. Now, a lot of people were kind of confused why Class 1A was all running off and why only one person in Class 1A was actually trying to get through. Until the ice kind of surrounded the entire entrance. That is whenever they kind of realized that the first guy who actually ran, he might have a quirk that tells him about the situation. But anyway, this is whenever Deku, Momo, Jiro, Froppy, Bakugo, and a lot of other students in Class 1A would actually get through. Now, Deku is actually running faster than Ida, because, yeah, he's very fast. And Jiro, she's actually using her quirk. She's going at about 15% to 20% of one for all. I said 18% is where she feels comfortable at. Like the uncomfortable sock thing from last video. But, yeah, she's going around that, and she's actually somewhat. She's the person who's the closest to Deku. President Mike would ask if Midoriya has a super speed quirk, or if he can stop time, because he's moving. He asked, President Mike asked Aizawa if Deku has a super speed quirk or could see the future, because he's actually going pretty fast. Aizawa would tell President Mike that no, it's nothing like that. He actually has a very simple. His quirk is strong, but it goes by one name: Spider. President Mike would ask what he means by that, and he would say that Deku's quirk gives him all the abilities that a spider has. He has a sixth sense where he could predict, where his body basically warns him whenever something's coming, if something's going to harm him. He can also stick to walls. He can stick to any surface, and he also has increased strength, increased speed, and he can actually shoot webs. This is whenever Deku would actually punch through a lot of the zero pointers and actually web them together. Or, no, let's say that he was running, he saw the 3 zero pointers, he would have jumped into the air, webbed the one on the left, and webbed the one on his right. Then he would have pulled them, he would have smashed them into the one in the middle. Now, he did this all in probably less than 2 or 3 seconds, and this is whenever President Mike would actually be very impressed with Midoriya. He would state that that kid's got some power. How strong is he actually? Exactly. He would state that that kid got infinite on the ball throw. He even tied with. He got first in the ball throw and tied actually with Uraka. Really? What was their score? Infinite. Infinite? What do you mean by that? He threw the ball into space, President Mike. Jeez, that kid's a powerhouse. Yeah, he got first in nearly the entire exam. Nearly? Well, yeah, I just said he tied with Uraka. Anyways, after this would happen, Deku would get first place. Jiro would get second, And Momo would actually get third because it may have taken her a minute to put together, but she would eventually put together. Hmm. I want to say like she would have put together like a suit kind of like the Falcons, or kind of like Falcons from Infinity War. But it's probably best to say that he was an old comic book character, or it was an old '90s movie, so Spider-Man wasn't actually in it. Basically, imagine the Marvel Universe without Spider-Man. Basically, everything up to Civil War. Yeah. Anyways, after that, she would have actually gotten third, and May Hatsume would have actually came running up asking her how she made that, what is that, like asking a lot of questions. Yeah, I'm not making Momo the Falcon or anything like that, but she just made this real quick. And she would ask if after the sports festival she can examine that and actually take a look at it. She would say yes, but they need to use it right now. This is whenever Deku would be awarded the 10 million points, and Momo would actually team up with Jiro and Deku. Now, Deku would say that this might not be a good time. Well, Momo, you're gonna want to make the earmuffs. Jiro would ask, what does he mean by earmuffs? This is whenever Deku, he would actually pull out the guitar from behind his jacket because he was allowed to wear it, and people would actually be looking at this. They'd be asking, what's he doing, cheating like that? And he would say that he didn't cheat. This is a gift for Jiro, and he actually got it. He actually got it all signed, so she can use it. He would state that with this, you can actually use your quirk probably twice. Well, you can use your quirk better, but if you do, you're gonna have to have it plugged in. This is whenever Jiro would say that that might be true, but if she's gonna be if she's gonna be a horse, then why would she even need to use it in the first place? He would say that you're not gonna be a horse. I'm gonna be carrying both of you. She would then say what as Deku would pick her up on one arm and Momo up on the other. People are staring at Deku and they're thinking that this is gonna be super easy. And Jiro would actually plug in and actually she'd be taking a feel for the guitar and looking around it. She's thinking that Midoriya must be insane because this thing is perfect. It's the correct width, it's the correct length, and it even feels perfect to her. Because it's made of wood, and I know those guitars, making them out of wood, it actually feels great. I've held one before, they're great. I actually have a guitar sitting right next to me, but I'm not going to play it. Because some of the stuff I probably would be able to play is probably copyrighted. Yay, YouTube. Anyways, how far is this? Okay. Now then, she would actually start playing a lot of the guitar, and this would actually it would nearly knock, it would almost knock Momo off, but Deku would have actually grabbed her, and he would then start shooting spider webs at his arms. They're asking, what is he doing? And he's saying that that blast almost knocked Momo off. So he's going to make sure that you guys don't fall off. After that, they would be running around and actually trying to defend themselves. Now, Todoroki, he would actually be firing a lot of ice at them. Momo would then charge up her quirk. Well, she would charge up one for all and actually strum the strings. Now, you know how whenever Deku blasted Todoroki's ice back by breaking his finger? It's basically like that, but it's just amazing. She would just strum one string and just blast all the ice away. Now, whenever she does do this, this would surprise her, and it would actually really surprise Momo. But Deku, he just has a smirk on his face, and everyone's looking at him. Now, whenever they do go around and actually protect themselves, Deku is basically jumping around, doing all this, and people think that he really is like a spider because he's everywhere. He's anytime they go to move left, he moves right, left, up, down, everywhere. Deku would eventually run up a wall. Well, people are chasing Deku, and Deku would actually be cornered. This is whenever Momo is actually she's somewhat firing like a laser gun because let's say she probably made one based off of Star Wars. Let's say she made like the Han Solo's gun because I can actually see her carrying one of those. That's a really cool gun. I wish I actually had a real life laser gun. That'd be amazing. Anyways, after that, she actually has like she made one of these, but it's not very reliable, so she can probably get like 2 or 3 shots off of it. So she doesn't use it a lot. But they would be cornered, and she starts shooting at it. She starts shooting it. She would shoot Ayama, I think his name is, with Can't Stop Twinkling, getting him out and actually getting not Ayama, but not. Well, actually, yeah, she would get Ayama out, and he would be disqualified from continuing on the sports festival. Because when she shot him, he actually fell off his horse or the person carrying him, and he actually, well, I want to say he broke his arm, but his support item actually dislocated his hip. That sounds better because it's actually feasible. Because he's basically wearing a giant bulky belt, and there's no way that thing would not hurt his hip if he fell on it. Anyways, sports festival would be over for the second part, so I'm going to be covering the battles in the next part. Now, I really do hope you guys understand how I like doing these and how I like making the battles their own separate video. And I might cover the battles in the next part and the Stain arc. And whenever they do get over with this, okay, let's cut to after this, but they'd be done with it, and Deck would actually get them off his arms by actually setting Momo down and then ripping off the webs so that she can stand up, and then doing the same for Jiro. And whenever Jiro gets down, she actually does basically tackle Deku, hugging him and actually kissing him. Now, a lot of Class 1A is looking at this, and then Momo is saying, geez, again? And then Jiro would actually somewhat blush and actually be embarrassed, saying that you saw us at the beach. And this is when a lot of pro heroes would actually realize that these two, the two strongest people in 1A, is a couple. Yeah, I just want to get that bit in because that would mean that a lot of these people who would see Deku and Jiro, not only could they consider them like very strong heroes, but if they send out invites to both of these students, they would probably both accept the same internship. Now then, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I hope you had an amazing day.